figure out the answer. And what is the answer that you're looking for? You're trying to find what? Casey, what were you going to say? You're trying to find the solution. If I'm trying to solve this particular equation, what am I looking for? I know I'm looking for the answer, but what is it that I'm looking for? What in this equation don't I know? What is it that I don't know? I don't know m. I don't know the variable. Yes, so when you're solving an equation, Jennifer, would you mind closing the door? Thank you. When you're solving an equation, you're solving for the variable. You're trying to find the value of the variable, or you're isolating the variable. We're trying to get m by itself. So these equations, notice, contain parentheses. There's simplifying that we have to do, like we did yesterday, in order to solve for m. So your first step in this equation, step 1, would be to simplify by distributing if you need to. So I do need to distribute here. If you didn't have any parentheses, you wouldn't have to worry about the distributing part. So if I distribute for this first set of parentheses, if I distribute m to the m plus 3, what is m times m? M to the second. So remember, you're adding the exponents when you multiply, and they both have a 1. If it helps, write it in. And then m times 3 would be 3m, so plus 3m. Now here, make sure you are distributing the minus with the m. So what is negative m times m? Negative m squared. And then negative m times negative 4. It'd be 4m, positive 4m. And then I still have my equal sign. I still have the 9m minus 16 because there wasn't anything I needed to distribute on the right side of that equation. Now my second step after you distribute is, notice on the left side where I distributed, always check to see if there's any like terms that you can combine. So your next step would be to combine like terms, but the like terms have to be on the same side of the equal sign. Okay, so you combine like terms, but only if there's like terms that are on the same side, either side of your equal sign. So if I look at just the left side of my equation, are there any like terms on that side, Michael? Yep, yes, the m squared and the negative or the minus m squared. Any other like terms on that side, or is that it? Yep, the 3m and the 4m are also like terms. Okay, 9m is on the other side, which is why I'm not including that one. What do I get if I combine m squared and a negative m squared? Yep, 0. That's like a 1m squared and a negative 1. So these cancel each other out. It is 0. You don't have to write the 0. So they cancel out. They're gone. And then 3m plus 4m is 7m. So I have 7m is equal to 9m minus 16. And now from here, I did all my distributing. I combined like terms. So now I am trying to solve for the variable. Anybody know what my next step would be? Daddy? Right, so get the, I'll call them variable terms on the same side. So I need to get the 9m over here by the 7m. So what do I have to do to both sides to do that? Divine? subtract the 9m, yes. Okay, so then it cancels out on the right side. Over here I have 7m minus 9m. It's negative 2m. Good. Good. So m equals positive 8. Well, my 8's looking kind of weird there. Okay, questions there? Okay, remember too, this is anytime you have equations to solve, remember that you can always check your answers. So like on your quiz, you can check your answer and know whether or not it's correct. How do you check an answer to an equation? How could I check to make sure 8 is actually correct? Nadia? Yes. That's correct. Yep. So I would replace every single m I see up here with an 8. And then you can do that just with your calculator. Make sure the two sides come out to be the same number. If they don't, then you know that your answer is incorrect. Ladies, make sure you sign in. Okay. I know some of you are just walking in. We have another example, but are there questions on this one? Okay. Thank you. All right, so here's the second example. So same steps. First step is to distribute. And notice we do have distributing on both sides now. So I have x times 12. That's 12x. And then x times x squared, so plus x squared. I keep the minus 7. I don't distribute the x to it. It's not in parentheses. Equals 2x. That's right. So here I'm distributing that positive x to the negative 4 plus x. X times negative 4 would be a minus 4x. X times x is plus x squared. Okay, check now, because I distributed on both sides, check both sides for like terms. So I'm just going to cover this side up. I'll uncover it if you need to write something down. On the left side, do I have any like terms? No. How about the right side? Yes, which ones? So, yep, 2x and a negative 4x. So I can combine those. So I'm going to rewrite my left side. What do I get if I combine 2x and a negative 4x? Yep, negative 2x plus x squared. Okay, so now I've gotten all of my simplifying taken care of. So now from here, this one's a little different. Our first example didn't have an x squared in it. Natalie? Like how we got the x squared? Yes, from multiplying x times x, because you add the exponents when you multiply to get the x squared. Yep. So then from here, kind of like on the front side, when we wanted to get the terms that had m on the same side of the equation, guys, you don't need to worry about what's going on out there. You need to worry about what's going on up here. What's going on out there is not on your quiz Monday. We had to get these on the same side. So you want to get now terms that would be like terms on the same side. So I'm going to start with the x squared. I would want both x squared terms to be on the same side. So it doesn't matter which one you pick. Let's just say I picked this one and I wanted to move it over here. Remember, there are ones in front of these. So since this is positive x squared, I would subtract x squared from both sides. But then what happens is this is gone because I'm moving it over here. But on this side, it's also canceled out. 1x squared minus 1x squared is gone. So my x squareds are just gone. Okay, so I write down what I still have left. I still have 12x minus 7 equals, and then I just have a negative 2x. Try to keep all the steps up here. So now I want my x terms on the same side. So what would my next step be, Andrew? Yes, so I could do either one, but if I add the 2x over here, this side becomes a 0. I really want my terms with x to be away from the minus 7 here. So I would probably do the minus 12x from both sides. I know then you have a negative x term. That happens sometimes. So these cancel. I still have a negative 7. And then negative 2 minus 12 is negative 14. So I have negative 14x. And then what do I do next? Not by negative 7. Divide by negative 14. Okay, so I still have my x over here. This isn't 2. It's not negative 2. It's 0.5, yes. 7 divided by 14, this would be 1/2, and it is positive because these are both negative. So you could write x equals 1/2, or if you put the decimal, either one's fine. But it's not 2. 2 is different. So either one of these, they're both the same number. I'm just saying you could leave it as a fraction or you can write it as a decimal. That's okay. Again, it doesn't matter what they're doing here. Whatever they're doing is not on your quiz Monday. This is on your quiz Monday. I don't care what they're doing. Leave the shades alone. The blinds alone, leave it. All right. You will have practice of that. Look at question 3. 3 says, is the expression 5x squared y cubed a monomial or a polynomial? And then explain. Cassie? I said Cassie, sorry. Okay. Casey, what were you going to say? Monomial. So what is a monomial? One term. A monomial is one term. How many terms is this? 1. Nadia? Yes, kind of a trick question. It is both. So you're both correct. It is both. So a monomial is a polynomial with one term. So if it's a monomial, that means it has to be a polynomial. Polynomials can have anywhere from 1 to infinitely many terms added together. This is just one term, so it is both. So I'm going to say here 5x squared y cubed is both a monomial and a polynomial because It is one term, and a monomial is a polynomial with one term. And the reason I'm modeling these to you is, again, you can expect on your quizzes, tests, at least one question. So even on your assignments, don't just skip the writing questions. This is one sentence. You just have to make sure it's a complete sentence. You're using vocabulary. You're actually answering the question. That's all I'm looking for. Okay, that's vocabulary that you do need to know for Monday's quiz.